Hello, John from FitKit Systems. In this instructional video on FitKit Studio, I want to show you more about editing the fields related to a customer's bicycle and their bike fit position. So when we've added a customer, either through having them fill in a pre-fit interview form in the studio or in advance, if they have entered bike details, that will show up under their name. So let's, for example, add this person here. We're going to create a new customer. We get a dialog box here where we can check their details and we save them as a customer. Then we can see that they've got a bike already against their profile. And if we click on this bike, we can see what type it is and any information that has come out of the pre-fit interview. So that will have the bike type, make, model, and in this case with a mountain bike, what wheel size it is and the frame size. So the rest of the information is at this stage blank. So over here on the left, we see all of the tabs that we can potentially get in and edit. So we have the equipment, the fit position. Again, there'll be no data in here yet. Same with shoes and cleats. No bike notes, no confidential notes, and really no fit history because we've just created this. So if we go back in here, once we are actually seeing the bike or we've worked on it, we can edit all of these fields. So we can provide an update. We might want to enter the year. Maybe the customer didn't quite write the size down correctly. We can edit that. We can research and add frame, reach and stack information if we like. Top tube, and here we can specify the stem. We have a choice of standard or integrated stems. Handlebar information, seat post type, etc. Now, depending on the type of bike, and we should mention there's road, mountain, TT, tri, gravel, cross, fat bikes, touring, tandem, etc. That will change some of the equipment and fit position related forms. So handlebar rise, for example, is specific to mountain bikes. Seat post type being dropper, rigid or suspension is specific to mountain bikes. If this was a road bike and we refreshed that page, we're going to find that seat post type is no longer a thing and handlebar rise is no longer a thing, but we get reach instead. So some of these forms are specific to the type of bike that we're dealing with. I'm just going to go back to mountain bike for a moment. Okay, so within there we can add the specifics of the information, saddle, crank length, pedal type, etc. And just for interest's sake, and sometimes use whether it's a mechanical or electronic system and rim or disc brakes. So one can add the equipment information. Then once we've done a fit, we can enter fit information. There's two different versions for saddle height, pedal spindle, which is the FitKit method, or from bottom bracket, saddle setback, saddle angle, and some linear measurements, as well as handlebar X and Y measurements. So all of those can be added there. We can take notes on the shoes and cleats, brand, model, shoe size, insoles, cleats, any adjustments or modifications. Did we use a wedge or a shim? What were the details on that? And any particular recommendations we might want to share. We may be recommending a wider shoe for the customer or a cleat replacement or a better quality insole. We can add some notes here to go into their fit report. If we want to make some comments, either to summarize changes that took place during a fit or future recommendations, we can add them in the shared bike notes area, and this will show up on the subsequent fit report. If you want to keep notes to yourself, observations about the customer or some of the things you've made that you don't want to share in the fit report, you can do that here. And these tie specifically to the particular bike. And then if that person has come back, we'll have subsequent columns showing up here in terms of changes to position or equipment. So both of those are factored into here. This little icon up here is to print a report. Let's go back in here. We're going to print the main report. That's going to show up. Now we haven't entered much in the way of information here, so we've got a whole bunch of zeros. But here we'll see the cyclist, their body measurement information, physical profile. These can be deselected in your preference settings. The bike equipment that we've entered and the fit position equipment we've entered and the shared notes that we've entered will all show up in this report here. Okay, so we're going to close out of that. Back in Fit History, you can actually do a PDF report of Fit History as well. So that essentially is the way to edit the specific information related to a bike. We can also, if we go back to the customer's profile and we want to, and they come back with another bike, we can add a bike and from the drop-down menu choose what sort of bike it is and put in the details there. And then once we have that information, we need to put something in here. And then we'll be able to add that bike. So there's a couple of required forms there. Okay, so we have that bike, and then we can see now we have a choice of 2 bikes that we can toggle between for that particular customer.